Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, we were doing a chakra day. Kelly, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Great. Now, I want to say something. We are having a special show because we're having a third person being chose, and I want to mention something about this co-host. She recently had a fall. She fell down the flight of stairs, and we're using the show to kind of give her a sort of maybe therapy, make her feel a little more better. So what we're doing is every show I'm going to start off by reading her GoFundMe page, which is http://tinyurl.com/fall DEC92. And this will be on the description of every show that we do from now on. This is sort of our gratitude for Barbara. Barbara is, are you there, Barbara?
Yes. Thank you so much, Jonathan. That means so much to me that you thought of doing that. I really appreciate it.
Now, the lady that's going to be our Chakra Day guinea pig is a lady named Robin Norton, which is a good friend of Barbara. How long have you and Barbara known each other, Robin?
Just over 20 years.
Wow.
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I was thinking about that today. That's a long time, Robin. It is so great. Yeah. A lot of memories.
I dated Barbara's brother, and so we have this real sisterhood, and it's a really beautiful relationship.
Do you still date his brother or brother?
Nope, that was about 17 years ago.
Oh, but you're still friends, even though you're not. Okay. Now, the way we usually do this is we need to make sure that Robin is in a place where she can relax and is laying down on the ground. You said that you were on the show. You're actually laying down on the ground and you're relaxed?
I'm lying down now. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Now, we have, Kelly, you have Robin's picture. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to look at it one more time.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you get started, Kelly, and do your stuff. Now, after the chakra day, after the chakras is over, Barbara and I are going to be asking you some questions. But for now, we're going to kind of let Kelly do her thing. And let's see, Kelly, your the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you. The first thing that I'm going to do is I do this exercise that helps me to focus my energy, and it's not something that you need to do with me, Robin, unless you want to experience it, but, this is going to work either way, whether you do that with me or not. But what I do is I take my hands and I rub them vigorously together until I start to feel them get warm and tingly. Then about
Am I able to put my phone on? Can I put my phone on speaker? Is that okay then?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I'm having to do.
Okay. That's what I did too. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Are you on speaker now?
I am.
Okay, you don't sound any different, so success. So what I do is I do that with the rubbing my hands, and then I bring them about shoulder width apart, and then I start bringing them closer and closer and start to cup them. And at about 5 or 6 inches apart, they start to feel like there's resistance, and that's creating an energy ball. And for people that are in tune with their spirituality, in tune with energy, people who meditate, people into that kind of thing, that can come easier and quicker than everyone else, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work any better or any different on somebody than somebody else that is not able to do that right away. It's just something that I do, and it's kind of a neat feeling to feel that. So the next thing I do is I will explain a little bit how this works. I don't know how familiar you are with it, but we might have some listeners that have no idea what we're talking about. So there are 7 main chakras in the human body, and they follow up a line from about where we sit, which is the root chakra, all the way up to just above our head, which is the crown chakra. And they each are related to certain systems in our body, certain organs, certain emotions and processes. And sometimes the energy can get stuck. Sometimes there can be negative energy there, like if there was a trauma that impacted, and things of that nature. On the rare, like very rare occasion, I've come across something that was so negative that it took a bit to get it out, and it was almost like a demonic possession, but that's very rare, and I'm not anticipating that. But yeah, that's kind of how it works, and then I'll explain each one. And I have a rock on a string, and you can use, if you were, wanting to, a person could use dental floss and a paper clip because it would work the same way. And I run my fingers down it, and I put any residual energy into the ground. And before I put in any of this, I've already said a silent prayer myself to God and to Jesus to help guide us, help get us in tune with truth and with them, and help protect us, because I'm Christian, but I'm not offended if somebody else isn't. I'm open-minded. I just don't want to have anything, when you're doing energy work, you want to have everything as positive and protective as possible. So that's, what I do. Other people might do it differently. So I got the residual energy off, and I've focused on your face, especially the eyes. There's a window to the soul. And the root chakra is where I'm going to start. That's the first one. It's kind of where everything builds like a ladder. And then it's all 7 of them are like a wheel within they're all 7 wheels within a big wheel. And when you take your breath, and when you have the circulation going through your body, when your heart's pumping your blood, these are all things that help those wheels stay in action. So I'm going to think about your root chakra, about you, and if the pendant goes like front to back or side to side, it means there's either negative energy or there's a block. If it goes in a circle, that tells me that it's open and it's positive energy. And, the bigger the sweeping, the faster it goes, that's telling me the stronger it is in the right direction. So let's see. Are you ready, Robin?
I am.
Okay. You might be able to relax more if you have your eyes shut. It's not like absolutely necessary, but it tends to seem to work better. Okay. So let's see what we find with the root chakra. Oh, this is very nice. I don't think I've come across a root chakra that was doing this well right off the bat in a while. So it's doing what I call helicoptering, which is going around in a circle so fast that it's a blur, and it gets kind of hard to hang on to because it's going like horizontally. So that's a really good start. See if I can go in there and feel what's going on. It was a really good feeling. That this is the area where we're most primal, and it's our most important energy center. It's our instinct for survival and safety. So I'm feeling like you're in a happy, safe place right now. And anything that you may have had bad in the past, you seem to have worked through rather well. It feels like you're in a healthy place in this area. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, for those things, the way that you deal with, when, life throws you lemons, you seem like the kind that would be making lemonade and making sure everybody else was enjoying it too. It's just, like you're like the sunshine for a lot of people. That's how I'm feeling it. Does that make sense?
That's very kind. Yes.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. It was very beautiful, and I don't usually feel that on the root chakra very much with people, because usually that's like they have a lot of traumas stuck in there, or they have like a hurt that happened, and then I'm helping them through it. But it was just like I didn't know what I was gonna get when I went in there, and I was like, wow, okay, well that felt good. I wasn't expecting that. So
that's exciting. I think I'm pretty logical about stuff. So any kind of trauma, I always look at it as, your next jumping off point to your next life path. I take trauma as something that we go through to become stronger on the other end.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah. I like to think that way with myself, but sometimes mulling through it, it just feels like, really heavy until, getting through the other side. And then it can be very empowering, to know, hey, I made it through this. And it's just the going through it part that's really not fun. But yeah, I like your positive outlook, because that's definitely serving you, and it's definitely providing a great role model for the people that know you, because they look to you for that. And I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, I think I'm aware of that. But I also look at anything that happens to us. It's just kind of scientifically, and that people are animals in a way, and to take everything with a grain of salt, and just, I don't know, do the math and move on.
Well, life would be so much easier if we could all do that. Yeah, you have definitely something to teach the rest of us, because, sometimes it's hard to let go and, move past and through and be like, okay, I'm done, grieving, losing someone, something like that. Different people do that in different ways. I mean, they say we have the same 7 steps, but some of them go from 1 to 7 and they're done in a month, and other people it takes a year, and, it's different for everyone. So I want to be on your road. All right. Well, the next one we're going to do, the root chakra is basically where you would be sitting. It's at the base of your tailbone. And the sacral is number 2. That is located between like the bikini line and the belly button. And that is the emotional body, sensuality, and creativity. See what's that showing us today? That one is a little bit wobbly. It's coming across as a strong circle, but it's kind of, I don't want to say sporadic. It's more like trying to get in touch with itself and in tune with itself. And then it starts to go faster and faster, but it's still a little bit wobbly. So it's definitely being improved. And it's definitely something that's going to continue into the future, getting better and better. So let me see what I find when I get in there. I'm feeling mixed emotions. Like there's something emotional that's kind of pulling on you, but you're able to counter it with logic and working your way through it. But it keeps coming up every once in a while. That's kind of like what it's feeling like to me. Whether it's a past relationship, whether it was something that with somebody that didn't quite work out, or kind of felt open-ended, or
I think
like
it's my current situation I'm dealing with right now.
Okay, because it doesn't feel like there's very clear answers, and it doesn't feel like there's closure. It's just kind of open right now, like you're not quite sure what to expect or which direction to go with it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I don't know how much you want me to elaborate this early on, but it definitely is dead on.
Okay. Yeah. It's it feels like it's hard to read somebody sometimes. Like you think that you got them down, and then they go a left turn, and you're like, "What just happened?" Because you didn't see that one coming. And it just kind of feels like that waiting and interpreting, double checking to make sure that what you're perceiving is correct, kind of a thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that. And I think that it's kind of throwing your creativity a little bit off too, because when we're unsure of what's going on, then it kind of makes us unsure of ourselves in that way. It makes us unsure of expressing ourselves because we don't know how we're going to be taken. Are they going to take this well? Am I saying this in a way that they're going to get upset unnecessarily? I don't mean it that way, but are they going to interpret it that way? Kind of a thing. Sensuality would go along the line with that. Like when you're kind of feeling like it's unstable and you're not sure what's going on, it's hard to feel sexy and close with someone. It's hard to feel like you're important if you're not sure where you stand. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, do you want me to let you know what's happening?
Sure.
Or not yet?
Yeah. It's up to you. I mean, we could go along and then you could tell me at the end if I haven't.
Maybe let's come back to it because I don't want it to consciously affect your reading.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm sensing right now. And yeah, I don't know if I really feel that you're walking on eggshells, because I don't think you're the kind of person that if you felt scared or if you were nervous about anything to that extent, I think you would walk away if you couldn't talk it out. So I don't think that's where you are, but it's just the feeling it out and trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
That's
I think.
right.
Okay. So let me see if I can help put some more positivity into there. Let me help clear away some of the confusion, hopefully. And hopefully get some clarity for you. Do you feel anything?
My tummy's gurgling.
Oh, here we go. That's where it's located. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
It's doing all kinds of flippity floppities and.
Oh goodness! Wow. Okay. Well, I got in there. Yeah. That's funny. Everybody has a little different reaction. Some people burp. Some people feel like butterflies. So it's cool to find out how each person is. So.
And I don't know if it's possible once we go through all of the chakras, if we could revisit that one once I divulge more, and then it might help.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Because what I do is once I go through in detail, I go through and do a quicker version unless I need to stop at one. And, you know, just to make sure they're still all aligned and they're still having the positive energy going through. So, yeah, we can totally revisit it.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if it's doing the wobbly thing anymore or where we're at. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely doing like the helicoptering thing, and it's getting hard to hang on to. So I can tell that we did well with that, and hopefully as we progress through this, you'll be able to either get clarity or you'll be able to perceive things and be able to trust what you're perceiving. Because I get that this person is kind of a bit of an enigma. And, you know, that when you think you have something figured out, then it's like, what was that?
Mhm.
And then, you know, you're kind of wondering, well, did they mean it that way? So, let's see. The next one is the third one, and that's the solar plexus. And that's located between the belly button and the sternum. And that is your area for personal power, self-esteem, warrior energy, and your power of transformation. Let's see where you are with that. Okay, yeah, okay, that is really doing, it's really, really trying to do a circle, but what it's doing is diagonal oblong things, and it feels really confused. Like, it just now started to do a stable circle, but it's a smaller one. And I was almost sure that it was going to do like a side-to-side type thing, but it straightened itself out, which it's now getting bigger and stronger, the circle. Quite doing what I call helicoptering yet, but it's very strong. So I think what I'm getting is some anxiety. With the situation. I'm getting frustration, mixed signals. I'm feeling like it's not feeling very empowering to be in this situation right now, because it's hard to feel like you have solid footing to have a foundation.
Mhm.
So that's kind of taking a little bit of a hit to your self-esteem, which is normal for that kind of situation. But you still have a healthy one. Your warrior energy, you know, standing up for yourself, things like that. I know that you have that in there, but I just feel like you're not sure when to have that come out. Like, when is an appropriate time to stand up and have that come out, because you're not sure if you're misreading or if somebody is deliberately trying to mislead you, or if they're unsure of what they want. It could totally be they're one way today, they're a different way tomorrow, and next week they have a different thing in mind, which, you know, when they don't know what they want, it's hard to build something with somebody else and have them feel secure. So it's kind of a lot of different factors going into this. But what I'm feeling like when it was going into the stronger, bigger circle, what I'm feeling is this process is beginning a process that you've already started. Well, you've already started it, but you're like at the beginning of it. Your transformation, and whether or not this relationship works, you're going to come away with it with knowledge about yourself and how you perceive other people, knowledge about how to read people better, knowledge about what you really want, what you're able to tolerate, and what is on your definite no list. You're going to know what you want, what you don't want, what you can compromise on, And, either this person is going to fit in with that or they're not. But right now it's really been confusing, kind of muddied a little bit. And, but I do feel like you're going to have some moments of clarity where you're just like, wow, that really just, hit home. You're going to have moments like that where something you read, something somebody says is going to resonate, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's totally us, or that's totally me, or that's totally this other person, or but no matter where it goes, you're going to be better for the experience. You're going to be transforming into a more powerful person, a more compassionate one, but smarter in the relating with people area. You're going to look back and see things that you might have wanted to do differently if you'd known X, Y, and Z, but you're not going to beat yourself up over it. You're just going to be like, okay, well, I know that for next time. And I'm not saying it's not going to work out. I'm just saying that there's going to be certain things you're going to realize and pick up along the way that are going to empower you, help you become more the person that you really deep down want to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're so intuitive. I mean, you're really good at this.
Oh, thank you. I just, I've learned to finally just say what comes up because, instead of hesitating and wondering, am I going to sound silly saying this? I figure, well, it doesn't hurt to just speak up, and then, so then I just let it flow.
It's a real gift.
Well, thank you. I was really uncomfortable with it at first. I thought it wouldn't be received well, and, because people have different opinions, and I was with somebody that thought that it was not going to help anyone, and they didn't believe in it and all that, and probably good I'm not with them anymore. Able to grow, but yeah, I mean, when you have somebody saying, your show is worthless, what you do doesn't matter, it's like, wow, that really helps. Yeah. So I'm on.
Well, we'll all have to go dancing together sometime. we'll find the right guy. The right person.
Exactly. Yes. We all need to go have some fun. Yeah. Well, the next one is the heart chakra, and that's the opening of feelings, compassion, capacity to love, and it doesn't like any conflict. So let's see where we are with that one. Okay, this is the one that's not happy. This one's going side to side. I wondered how this would be, but I'm feeling like, let me make sure that, yeah, I'm feeling like there's pain in there, and that it's because you're afraid to open your feelings because you don't want to get hurt. Because you're unsure of the situation. And you have compassion, and you're able to express that, but you don't want to get run over either. You're not the doormat kind of person. You have the capacity to love, but there's conflicting information and conflicting feelings, and you're getting like conflicting vibes off this person. And it's bugging you because you like to have everything straightforward. You like to be able to have clarity and see where it's going. You like to not be guessing and second guessing whether this person is feeling the way that they're showing you that moment, or if the other way they're acting is who they really are and what they're feeling. And you don't like to you don't like that conflict of, you're trying to help this person, you're trying to do the better good, you're trying to do good for yourself and those around you that care about you. but you're unwilling to, put yourself at risk, which, thank God. But when you're getting the mixed signals like that, really hard to really open up how you feel, and you don't want to express too much doubt. You don't want them to feel like you don't believe in them, or you don't believe in the both of you together. But you're trying to find like the delicate line, the delicate balance to be able to express how you feel, and when you do this, then I feel that kind of a thing, and not wound them, not make them feel like you're trying to pick at them, not make them feel like you're being critical. So I'm feeling like you have to kind of choose your words carefully. Does that make sense?
So I'm actually trying to save my dog's life this week.
Oh.
And I think some of the conflict is that not being able to get my footing is that every doctor and vet has told me, they do the frowny face, and basically we need to, call it quits. But I've been using Chinese herbs and meditation and CBD oils, and she was smiling today. She's been wagging her tail. She has a cancerous tumor that's growing around her aorta down by her feet, or by her legs. And so to me, I think miracles happen. And she's moving around now, which she couldn't a couple days ago. And I really, in my heart, feel like we can heal her. And, so it's this trying not to doubt myself, but also wanting to be present with her if this is her last week or so, and having difficulty trusting vets because it's so much about money. And, so it's just been this emotional roller coaster with them not really doing a thorough job. So we're piecing things together and finding out stuff because of my research, not because of them being very insightful and intuitive. And I feel like we're, losing time because of people's mistakes. And so it really has to do with and this is not just any dog. This is like one of those soulful creatures that everyone that meets, Barbara loves her too. Everyone that meets her knows this is a special, very special dog. Her brother is very goofy and fun, and I'll miss him when, his time comes. But she's only 8 years old. She should live to about 14. And this is all new as of Friday.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why, this was such a time-sensitive topic, because basically we didn't think she was supposed to live through the weekend, and she's wagging her tail and walking like I've never seen her, and smiling again, and she, supposedly was dead dog walking. So
she knows.
I don't know if that all adds up, but and her tumor is in her intestine, or like near her intestines, like down, it's in one of her lymph nodes. But I was wondering, I've had such indigestion issues or, gut issues, and I didn't know. I know that they absorb so much from their owners, and, so I just wanted to get my stuff aligned to see if I could help her with hers through energy.
Yeah. See, I'm seeing how, when you're saying that, it's kind of making sense, the impressions that I was getting, because the frustration with talking to the vets, they're not being clear, they're not listening, they're not open-minded enough to talk about alternative therapies because they don't make the money on that.
And then also just that...
I wanted to jump... Sorry. I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I just want to let you know, sometimes they say there is a difference between veterinary medicine and patient medicine. With patient, they worry about the patient. With veterinary medicine, they sit around, they worry about who's paying the bill. They don't really worry about the dog, you understand? But that's all I'm going to say.
Some do, but a lot of them don't. Yeah, a lot of them don't. But and also they can't ask the dog how it's feeling. The dog can't complain to them, hey, that's not what I want, or that's not what's happening. So, but the thing is that I'm also picking up is that your dog, and this is where the love part was coming in, this is probably what was helping the root chakra be so strong with it being the instinct for survival and safety. Your dog knows that she is absolutely unconditionally loved and has a very strong soul tie to you. And she has this big instinct for survival, and she knows that you're doing the best that you can. And she plays off of your energy. And when you feel bad, she feels bad. When you get indigestion, you kind of reflect each other on that. Like, you're kind of feeling a little bit what she's feeling a little bit what you're feeling. And so the conflict and all that would be with the vets and trying to get them to, look into things. And the love part, that is just so open and beautiful that so I wasn't sure if they were like two sides of a coin of a person, but now that makes sense. That
and it's me also wondering if I'm crazy, so that's the power stuff too, is that I do feel powerless in moments, and then other moments I'm like, no, if there's anyone that can help make this dog miraculously recover, I am powerful enough to do that, and then you feel like you're nuts, and then so you just go back and forth, and so it really is like, you want positive intention, and I'm seeing the results of her just with just natural therapy and snuggling and laying low, and that I see her healthier.
Yeah. And I know that you have that, inner thing, like you're wondering if you're going in the right direction, like, or if you're trying to pursue something that isn't going to work anyway. And that was kind of what I was getting with, the inner conflict in the relationship. I just didn't realize it was with the dog, because oftentimes animals that we are that tied to come across as a human, because their soul is that strong and that tie is that binding, that they might as well be. They're just a person in fur clothes, Yeah. Or scales, whatever they're wearing. So yeah, that's that it's multifaceted what's happening, because like you have this beautiful, beautiful love with this soul, this perfect soul, and you want to do everything possible to alleviate suffering and get her feeling better, and she wants that.
Get her feeling better, and it's selfishly also that I can't imagine our family as 3 instead of 4. I've got my guy and our 2 dogs, and I love our family, and it's just imagining life later, and I don't want to be angry at people, and I don't want to blame, and I just am really trying to be delusionally positive that this is all going to work out.
Well, the sense that I got earlier about the power of transformation and the personal power and the self-esteem and all that, is you're a warrior going up to bat for her. And that's beautiful and excellent. But no matter what the outcome is, whether you find that thing that works or whether not, you get the outcome that you're hoping for, she's going to know how much you tried, how much you love her. And maybe she'll pull through and it'll be a wonderful experience. But, either way, you're going to know that you did everything possible that you could do. And she knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was made better by it. And you'll have that peace of whether or not you have more time. You'll have the peace of knowing that you did all you could. Whether she has another 5-10 years or, 5 days, whatever the time length is, because sometimes it's hard to perceive a timeline. I mean, sometimes I can say to somebody, yeah, you're going to feel a really different, thing in 9 months, and you're going to have all these opportunities coming. But when it comes to like death and things like that, or feeling rebirth, it's really hard, for me to convey a timeline, because I don't want to affect the person's perception of what to expect. So, if I was going to tell you you're going to have X amount of time, you might either frantically try to extend that, or you might be giving up. And I don't want to influence it either way. So that's why I'm being vague. But the thing I really know for sure is you're going to be empowered by this experience and getting through the whole thing. And at some point we all pass over, and it's going to be a huge hole for a while, whether it's now or 10 years from now. But you're going to emerge from it, you're going to be okay, and you're going to learn things about yourself, and you're going to have strength that you didn't know you could in this direction. And that was what I was feeling earlier, but I didn't know if it was the loss of a relationship, and I didn't know the timeline. And so it's not really something we can prepare and arm ourselves for, because, like when my mom was dying of cancer, it's like, well, they're going to pass, but it doesn't make it hurt any less. And, that we're all going to pass at some point. But, when that happens, if we know when it's going to happen or if we don't, it doesn't make it any easier if we did. Does that make sense? Are you okay, Robin?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, so is what I'm saying making sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let me check that heart one again. See what we're... Okay, yeah, this is definitely, it's helicoptering now. So, wow, this is like your strongest one right now. The throat
She just started snuggling up on me.
Oh, she's feeling the love. Oh,
yeah.
Sweet girl. She's feeling the love. Oh.
I just got
throat. You got chills?
I just got chills. This is the first time, just now. And that means that something is happening. I feel like she's feeling. Wow,
good.
Robin, all over. Like now it's even more all over my body. I'm getting chills. Like I'm really feeling the hearts connecting.
Oh, that's cool. I'm feeling chills on the top of my head. That's a weird place.
How about you, Robin?
I'm just trying to take it all in. I didn't get my chills, but I'm just loving my puppy. She doesn't usually get up because she's weaker, and for her to have gotten up and start snuggling like that is just amazing.
Wow. That's beautiful.
And it was weird too. It was almost like I was sucking her breath. I had to make sure she wasn't dying right then.
Oh,
fascinating. She was like breathing into my mouth. It was really interesting.
Wow. Yeah, she's sensing things are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, animals are very, very intuitive on a higher level than most people. Wow. That's beautiful. The throat chakra is the fifth one, and that's our ability to manifest and express your truth in the world. So, let's see where we are. Okay, that I didn't think you had any problem with, and you don't, because it's just almost as strong as the heart one, which was off the chart. It's a little wobbly, but I think that's just, with trying to discern what the truth is sometimes. But you certainly don't have any problem expressing it and talking to the veterinarians, and you certainly don't have any problem expressing your love. She knows where she stands with you. And everybody that is close to you knows where they stand with you. And it's pure love. And you're able to convey it so that people can feel it. It's like, sometimes words aren't necessary, but when you add your words, it makes it even more powerful, to come from your voice. And you can do a lot of manifest through your voice and your intentions and actions and prayers and meditations, because you do have that way of reaching down into someone's soul. And not everybody has that. And you and Barbara, oh my gosh, you two have some of the most beautiful, beautiful souls that I have come across. And it's no wonder that you two are soul sisters.
Oh, that's so good. Thank
True.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, just, oh my gosh, it gives me chills when, just being on the phone with you ladies and feeling the energy of all of us on the phone. I was having a bad day, and now it's like, that's not even, that's in my dust. I'm having a better one now. So,
and it's so great that that I met you guys at all this timing to be able to help Robin with this. And even though you were going to do it privately and it's on the live podcast, I think it's good because all of the energy from the people out there listening who care, the more good vibes and great energy we can get, the better, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to ask, what chakra are we on? Because I got up and then I had to do something real quick for a second.
Oh, we're about to do the third eye, which is number 6 out of 7.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And,
no rush. No rush.
Also, you know what this really, also tells me, which is a little bit off topic, that I can be intuitive with animals and they don't have to be right here with me. So that's like another avenue that I can help people with their animals.
It's amazing.
And thank you. I was told by a psychic I'd be able to, but I had never put it to the test. And this was like one of those double-blind science experiments because I had no idea that we were going to be doing this about an animal. So, but to me, they're just like people. So that's why she came across and the situation came across like, it felt like we were dealing with somebody that had 2 personalities, the dog and the vet. But I didn't realize it wasn't one person. It was like, it's almost like their soul splits into 2. What's going on? But, now I know. But
well,
wow.
And I feel like I've had 2 personalities in this experience and trying to take in what the doctors are telling me and yet push it away as soon as I hear it to move into manifesting and intentionally trying to bring positive healing energy to her. So it's, it's having to be 2 people at once with that also.
Yeah, because you have the logical side to you, which is really strong, but then you have the spiritual side, and sometimes it feels like they're moving together, and it sometimes feels like they're in conflict. So, yeah, it's the duality, and, things will become clear where everything comes together and goes the same direction. It's just, you're getting so much conflicting information right now. It's hard to, it's hard to wade through it, and you don't want to give up, and I wouldn't give up in that situation. You know what's best. You know what she's telling you, and she doesn't.
Yeah, and there's no sense in giving up, because either way, I mean, either I get to have this comfortable, amazing experience with her, and then she dies, or she doesn't. And so either way, it's a win.
Yeah, because then you'll know that, well, you went through this journey with her, and you did everything. And you won't doubt that, well, what if I did this or what if I did that? You won't have that.
Right.
Because you'll have tried everything. So that's really beautiful. And, I think you're going to come out ahead of most people in that situation, because you won't feel conflicted anymore when you've tried all the different options. And, I think you're going to have some beautiful results along the way and some beautiful time together.
Thank you. I do too.
You're welcome. Yeah. And she senses it. She knows. She knows that you're fighting for her. And, she loves you all the more for it, because she knows she's that important for you to do that. Okay. The next one is the sixth one, and that's the third eye. That's intuition, patterns of learning, and memory skill set. So let's see where we are. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. This started off a little slow, and then now it's doing the helicoptering where it's going super fast blur. So I think there's just a little bit of hesitancy as far as, piecing things together, not having the clear picture right away. Your intuition is spot on, that you're searching for something, that there may not be like the absolute miracle that nobody can dispute. That may not be out there, but you're going to have a lot of amazing experiences along the way, even if they're small triumphs. And you know that you're doing the right thing. So, yeah, and I think, the piecing together is the learning your memory skill set, and you're seeing patterns that are emerging. Like, if you try this, then you get this result, and if you try adding this, then, she receives it this way, kind of a thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let me see. The seventh one is the crown chakra, and that's access to higher states of consciousness, being open to what is beyond our understanding, and that's being open to the universe and our interconnectedness to God or higher power, whatever somebody believes in. So let's see. And a lot of people have trouble with this one because the further they move away from root chakra, which is grounding with the earth, some people never really get to this step where they're one with the universe because they get stuck somewhere along the way. So, the people that have reached this and they're doing well, they've done a lot of inner work. It doesn't just happen. But yours is like right away off the chart. So you have that direct connection. And the more that you go to manifest, the more it's going to build on itself. The more it's going to be open, the more it's going to be like direct connect. So you're going to be definitely through this whole experience, you're going to have tears. You're going to have very beautiful love and signs and knowledge and just like an opening of yourself along with her. Even deeper connection. And it's going to be a beautiful journey. It's going to, like I said, have it tears, have it smiles and happy times. But it's a very, very beautiful connection. And it's hard to find that, honestly. But it's because you two were meant to be together, and the four of you as a family. So, what I'm going to do now is go through the 7 and let me know if there's anything that you want to discuss in the ones that I go to.
Okay.
The root one is the first one. And I can see how that one's doing. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep, you are definitely, that's really healthy. That was really healthy before, but it's like really hard to hand to right now because it's just spinning so fast. Your sacral, that one is very strong. It's not quite doing what the other one was doing. Now it's going to a blur and fast. And that was the emotional body, the sensuality, and the creativity. So, yeah, it's kind of like hard to focus on other things when, you're so emotionally involved with something that you're not sure how it's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Solar plexus, that one, oh gosh, that one's right off the chart. That one's great. So yeah, you're in the middle of your transformation and you've got a ways to go, but it's going to be a positive one in the end. If or when she passes, you're going to know that she knows she's loved. It's going to be like sad that she's gone, but she's never really gone because she'll still hang around, if that makes sense. And you'll feel her.
You just got to learn how to channel or, just to really reach people or animals on the bit of transition. Yeah, and I think you already know, but you don't know that you know, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because you have such a strong connection. It's through the soul. Let's see, the heart chakra. That one, okay, wow, yep, that one is off the chart. Yeah, that one's really good. The throat chakra, that one is a healthy circle. It's not quite going nuts, in the positive like the other ones, but it's still a really healthy big one. And I think that one is still your manifesting and you're expressing your truth. And you're kind of wobbly sometimes on which way to go on some of those decisions. So, but that's fine because you are going in the right direction. It just doesn't always feel like it when they're telling you one thing, but your heart and soul are telling you another. Mhm. You got to listen to that heart and soul. I'm going to.
Good, because you are doing the right thing. The third eye is like off the charts. It's so good. So definitely go with your gut. Go with your gut. It won't mislead you. It's not going to second guess. Go with like what your gut tells you at first. Like if you feel like something's off, it is. If you feel like you don't think that the person you're talking to is really understanding what you mean or they don't care, well, then they probably don't. And they might not be the right one. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. But, yeah, just know that things are going to fall into place, and that it's all going in the right direction. And things are going to happen the way they're supposed to. But they're supposed to with you trying all the different possibilities to get there, because that's the direction you're going. But, you know, you have to trust what's in your heart, in your gut. Crown is just barely hanging on because it's just wanting to go spinning across the room. So that one's really doing well. So, do you have questions for me?
I mean, the biggest one I wouldn't dare ask. I mean, I feel like I sense in you that I don't know if you have the ability to tell the direction it's going, but I won't even bother asking. I'm gonna be
I think I know what you're
miraculous.
trying to ask.
I wouldn't dare.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be for the better, because you're going to see her perk up and have her good time. And if you weren't on this path with her, then you wouldn't get those. You would be in a downward spiral. So you're definitely making a difference.
Okay.
Does that help?
Nope.
Yes. You can only ask for so much.
Barbara, do you have any questions for Robin?
It's sometimes right after somebody gets a cleansing, they get a lot of energy or they feel drained. How are you feeling, Robin, right now? Are you feeling better, comforted? What's your feeling?
Oh, I mean, you know, here I am trying to beat out death. It's not like I'm asking for something small in life, you know. And so, you know, I'm still, I think, conflicted, but I did have this really interesting, like, this energy bath almost that I've never experienced before. And she's gotten really playful with me right now, which she has not done because she's been too weak. So it's funny that, I mean, obviously we got some nice energy because she's doing a little thing where she's batting my hands and making me pet her, and she was kind of standoffish when she wasn't feeling good. So this is, you know, this is new and exciting.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm getting this sense you're going to beat the odds, but it might not be for as long as you'd like. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And, you know, when you measure quality over quantity, she's going to have quality with you.
Mhm.
So,
and it is making me put down my phone when I get home, and I haven't watched TV, and you know what I mean? It's like you really do start to pay attention and not take things for granted that she's just going to be sitting there. I really have been paying more attention and focused on her, and so, yeah, even if the time is limited, it's more time in many ways because I was kind of stopped in my tracks, and it has been an incredible experience. It's an emotional roller coaster because the humans involved, but as far as with her, it's just been beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you have to remember how you're feeling right now about that, because that's going to help carry you through when there's hard times, because, you know, it's going to have its easier times and its not so easier times, and it's going to go kind of like, you know, up and down a little bit, and up and down, up and down. And, you know, but you are going to have some really beautiful moments that you didn't expect, that, you know, she perks up and she does this and she does that, and she hasn't done that in a month, and, you know, something like that. So, but it's because she really wants to be with you. It's because she really feels the love from you, and because, you know, the energy that you're giving her and the different modalities that you're trying and things like that are all putting things in a positive direction, that merely giving her a medicine or a procedure, you know, that can only do so much if it was available. But the power of spirit, the power of God, the power of positive energy is transformational. And ideally we'd be able to find a veterinary intervention and do positive, energy work. And I don't know if that's available or not, and that's why you're checking. But, definitely don't let the energy work and the, alternate therapies, don't let those lag, because, sometimes it's the intention behind it more so than what you're actually doing. The intention and the love and the wanting to heal and the healing taking place is not necessarily from exactly what you're doing. It's more from coming from the heart.
That's all part of the healing process. Do you know what? Just from knowing Robin for so many years and listening to this, you were so spot on about so many things with her personality. It was amazing. I mean, the part where you were talking about how she is like the one where that people, she's a light for people. She is so much like that. Oh. Remember when she was saying that you were the light for so many people? You are. And you give so much to so many people. And then when she was saying, because your intuitions are so good and you have done a lot of work, and I don't know if you have spoken to Kelly much before, but letting her know how much work you've done like this and the natural healing work that you've been doing lately, I don't think she knows, but she said that you could feel that. Yeah. You felt that, didn't you, Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't know that ahead of time because, it was just mostly.
Well, this has really made me. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, it was just mostly Robin and I had talked about a time that we could do this. It wasn't anything about, what it was going to be talking about or what she's been doing.
Wow, so the work that you've been doing, Robin, it's been good and it's been the right path. And so that must be comforting for you to know that you are doing everything you can and that all of this is for such a good reason and to keep on doing it.
Yeah, this has really made me recognize that there's no time to waste. And I wouldn't say that I'm the strongest with meditating yet. It's hard for me to zone out because of my logical side, I think.
Oh, yeah, there's a little battleground,
yeah.
Yes, just last week I went on a cruise. Just last week I went on a cruise with Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you know the entities that Esther Hicks channels, that she wrote The Law of Attraction. And so I was in 4 days of seminar, and I went to Joe Dispenza, who's a metaphysicist, but he's also a scientist. So he a neurologist, so he's figuring out ways to measure.
Back up.
What's that?
My goodness.
What did you just say?
Joe Dispenza is a metaphysicist, but he's also a neurologist, so he's trying to figure out ways to measure the metaphysical effects.
Is there a way to get him on this show?
Okay, the reason, let me explain something to you, and I'm sorry if it seems like I cut you off.
Oh, no worries.
I think Kelly might know what I picked up. Kelly, maybe you picked up what I picked up here. Did you pick up what I picked up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember what the psychic had said about our show?
Yeah.
We had a couple of them say that.
There is a psychic that made the prediction. I asked her, so where's the show going to go? And she said, I think it was said that the show was going to go through spirituality meets science.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking
trying
to figure out how we could do that.
Off. Yeah, I'm sorry if it sounded like I cut you off, but
doesn't at all.
When you said
it's exciting.
Yeah, you said metaphysicist and also a scientist. So I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. I mean, he is amazing because he's able to explain all of this in layman's terms, and he's figuring out how to. He's got a couple really great books, and but he's trying to figure out how to prove to all the naysayers that this stuff really works, and he explains it so clearly, but he's taking like CAT scans of people's brains where they're shrinking tumors with power of intention and doing like collective meditation type stuff. And I'm not explaining it very well, but really incredible healing.
If there's any way that we could get him on, he could help so many people.
So he's a pretty famous dude. I definitely wish I knew him personally.
Right?
But I will send you guys links because, you know, just by talking about this type of thing, you just never know. I mean, he's going to be in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to try to take a week-long class with him this summer. It's like an intensive week-long experience with him. And and he does seminars, like day-long seminars through Hay House and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'd love to meet him too. Let's make this happen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Louise Hay of Hay House. She has that You Can Heal Your Life, and she healed herself from cancer.
Yeah.
So
and Barbara can manifest things. So we'll just get this going, and sounds good.
Yeah, we can manifest anything. We've been manifesting so much lately, haven't we? And, you know, it's just amazing how this all has come together and how well Side Pipe is doing.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Robin and what's going on, it's two different completely things. I mean, she is doing so much better than they thought. And look at all this healing work that you've been doing. I believe it's miracle. I do. I believe we could heal her. And
that is
so
cool.
when Kelly said that you were so intuitive, one of your chakras, to tell if somebody doesn't really care, you can tell. And we need to get all those people away. So that's good that you already are so intuitive. You're able to do that because we only want to surround ourselves with the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other ones are like, you know, energy vampires. They'll try to suck all the good out of you. You know, we don't need that.
I'm not sure we kept this very private.
What was that?
We've kept this very private too because I don't want everyone's 2 cents in on her health. I don't want to hear the stories and of other people's animals that have died. I don't want to hear the statistics, all that stuff. It doesn't help. I'm moving forward with I want my dog to be happy. Yes, it would take a miracle, and if anyone can do it, it's me with people like you who can make this happen.
Thank you. I don't heal. I help the person be able to heal, or the dog, or, you know, whoever. I help them to heal themselves because I open up the channel to be able to allow that.
I would say something because I think this is something that my father has made comments on. And I'm not trying to be mean or put down the dog or anything, but like people forget, dogs don't have Social Security numbers. They don't have Medicare. They don't have, you know, all the stuff that we have. So the question is, you know, is it really getting everything it needs? I mean, you know, because you're basically, they basically are only concerned with who's paying the bill. So if you see a dog, then they're not. It is true the dog doesn't have a Social Security number. It doesn't have Medicare. It doesn't have. There's really no birth certificate with the dog's name on it. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but you know. But that changes things when it comes to healthcare because how do you approach it? Now, if you were sick and you had this thing that the dog had, then they may be more willing to give things to you because you have a Social Security number. You have you're an American citizen, you know, is what you are. This dog is not an American citizen. I'm not trying to make anybody laugh, but I think you see my point. You know.
Yeah, it makes it harder, but it's still doable.
Right.
But you know, it is harder. I mean, and
so the
you
less
know,
likely, in my opinion, gives you what you need. It's more like about money.
Oh, it's definitely about money. And I have this real interesting hippie vet that I've been talking to on the phone that I connected with somehow, right, through all of this. And he's so awesome. I don't even know him, but he's been kind of guiding me. He had been going to the Chinese herb store, and I'm basically teaching some of the vets different things through him. And so it has been an awesome experience. I mean, I am learning so much. And and we'll, if we have to refinance our house, we're going to do that. Honestly, we're going to do everything we can. And then when she tells me that she's done, then I'm fine with being done. But I'm not getting that sense from her right now. And so we're going to do what we can. And so we'll hopefully start radiation on Wednesday.
Usually, I think you can usually tell, because my sister Kathy has had a wonderful intuition with dogs. She had a cocker spaniel, and the rule was that we put the cocker spaniel for Kathy, but the deal was that every time the dog had to go to the doctor, that we would bring it over here. Well, it's sort of funny because you do take things. This is an example of taking things for granted. When we put the dog, because the dog wasn't feeling well at all, we put the dog in this room where it was supposed to be, and we laid out this newspaper for it, and so that it could, her name was Hazel, so that Hazel could, go to the bathroom and urinate and everything. Well, the next day, the paper was dry. I mean, the dog didn't go to the bathroom. The dog didn't urinate. Nothing. It was just, and it's sort of weird because it's almost like you almost wish you could pick some of it up because it would be normal, but it's like, it tells you right there that there's something wrong, I mean,
yeah.
Just, all that was there was just newspaper, and it just feels so weird, but you take it for granted, you always complain about it, but in a way, the reason they do that is because that's the way their digestive system works. I mean, of course they're supposed to urinate on the ground. They're supposed to have, bowel movements and all those other things. We may complain about it, but I think every animal would agree they're supposed to do that. That's what's supposed to happen, right?
Yeah, when the body starts shutting down, then you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Do you think that we would be able to get Robin, if she's interested, an animal psychic on the show before Wednesday to help? And Robin, would you want to? Go ahead.
That's totally up to you guys. We've got her appointment on Wednesday, and so, that depends on if you needed a different person to be on it or not, and if you suggest that. But it would be nice to know what her thoughts are.
Yes, and
we have an animal psychic on Wednesday, but we have a psychic tomorrow, and an animal psychic on Wednesday, the 24th, is what we have.
Okay, so what I could do is I could ask for Robin, and just ask a couple of questions for Robin if she can't call in. And if you have any questions you would like, because there is another dog. There's another dog that is the partner of Side Pipe, and sometimes when the psychic talks to or reads to animals, they can read how is the other dog communicating. And sometimes they can learn from each other. They can help each other. And that might be very good right now for Side Pipe.
Yeah, that would be good. And, look at the timing of this. It's on Wednesday. That person, better go ahead and come on our show. But, the thing that I'm getting from the whole thing is when you step back after however long this is, and everything's said and done, you're going to be able to help people a lot. because there's a lot of other people going through this too. We just don't know where they are and who they are, but you're going to be like a sign of hope for people that are going through this.
Yeah.
And
Very
understanding,
empowering.
you're going to be increasing that. Yeah. Increasing, empowering, the status of animals in people's lives, that they're not just a thing that, we're governing over. It's a living, breathing soul.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's something. It's hard, because people take advantage of it because there's no social security number, there's no, birth certificate. There's no. I mean, you understand?
And you get the
people they can
that
just write them off. I mean, that's the sense I'm getting, is that they're just like, I get the frowny face and that she's just going to die and that's it. And but the fact that I've been able to take better care of her than they have been so far, it's, it's to them, it's just a dog. To me, this is like one of my little soulmates.
I guess I wanted to tell you, to paraphrase what my father said. He said that they can do a lot more than they can. It's just that it's sort of like, it's kind of like they're more likely. Well, I mean, it's true when you really think about it. It's like horses. Horses get sick, but then they euthanize the horse. We don't do that to people. I mean, we
they break a leg. You don't put them
sort
down.
of.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, we try not to, at least. I mean, but you understand what I'm saying. But it's not like the horse breaks his leg and then also, okay, not to be graphic, but we don't really do that to people. We don't say, okay, well, you're depressed. Okay, you're no good to anybody, and I mean,
humans have whole teams, medical teams fighting for their lives, and the dogs, they just write it off. Yeah.
No, and it's more painful to lose a pet, an animal. For me, I have sobbed for days losing a pet, and a person, I don't. And I think probably one of the reasons is because we don't feel like we have made that communication to them. And I think it really helps where you feel like, okay, I've communicated. And when Kelly said that she knows, she feels, and she knows that you are there for her and you're fighting for her. Now you have that. That's one more thing that you didn't have before today, that knowledge of knowing that.
And I was going to say something else. Many years ago, I went to see John Edward, the psychic. I keep forgetting him confused with the senator, so I hope I'm getting his name right. But anyway, what happened was that he was getting on stage, and he says, do you want, he was talking to the stewardess, and he was reading for the stewardess. And it's kind of funny, Barbara, because you said that you were the flight attendant. I read that. But what happened was that he said to the audience, and he says, I went through everything. I went through, her grandmother, her father, her uncle, everything. She sat there completely stone-faced. And everybody was saying, now, do you know what finally made her broke down? And everybody was like, what? When I mentioned the poodle. It was like as soon as she mentions the poodle, it's like, oh my God, it was just terrible.
Yeah, people are assholes and dogs aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I was trying to help my dad with his health this summer, but, I can't control his diet, and I can't get him to do certain things or, chill out. And so it got to the point where I just had to throw my hands up and back away and not try to help him with his health. Whereas the dog, they receive and they accept your help. And so I feel like, if anybody has more, there's no resistance with a dog. They naturally allow. And
there's no ego in the way.
So
they don't have
that frustration. That at least you don't have that frustration to go through. And I just wanted to say that what Robin, how could I forget this? I was going away during Christmas for 9 days, and I didn't know what I was going to do about my cat here, who was going to take care of my cat. Robin came all the way from Seattle to Arizona and took care of my cat. for me.
Aww.
I mean, yes. I mean, that is a true friend. So she knows how much that cat means to me and needs to be taken care of. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing that. And during your healing, I went over to my cat and I just had to hold her and, kiss her. I was just saying, like, our animals mean so much to us. So this timing, I just can't say enough how incredible this is.
Thank you.
What was that? Oh, that's his nickname for Kelly, Kitty in the Box.
Yeah, the kitten in the box. Because I'm always afraid of
Yeah.
hurting her feelings.
Okay.
It's like...
Yeah.
Okay, well... Okay.
How do you feel, Robin, after this? Do you feel better?
I do. I mean, I feel like I've got my team now, which, we were just talking about how people have their medical teams, and I feel like I have my spiritual team right now. I'm, still conflicted about wanting to be hopeful and keep my spirits up, even though I know scientifically that that's not super likely. So I don't know when to flip that switch and get real, but I'll just trust my gut and know when that's appropriate. I'll follow her health and signs, and that she wants me to just back off now and let her be. So, I'm still conflicted because I am trying to stop a death from happening, which is kind of a big deal.
Right?
But I really appreciate your time, and she just jumped off the bed, so that's crazy. I mean, I've been trying to lift her.
Okay, this is been done.
She's running down the hall. She's running.
Wow.
I've been putting her up and down on the bed. She doesn't run. Oh my gosh. I just let her out the door.
That is
amazing.
Awesome.
So something shifted, and you guys were part of it, and I am eternally grateful.
Oh,
and she will be our spirit guide when she does transition. I'll share her with you guys.
Thank you. We are so glad to be a part of your team, and you put that so well that we are your spiritual team. And I'm so glad that you found that.
Yeah, you can.
And we will figure out a way to mix the metaphysical with the science. We are on that, the edge of that, and I'm excited for you guys and your podcast because I think that what you're doing is incredible.
Oh wow! Thank you.
By the way,
it was wonderful having you on.
About the people told about Kelly.
So I think that, what was that, just a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? Because then I went on my cruise, and I was with, I think it was 900 people attending these Abraham Hicks seminars. And so the people that I connected with, it's incredible, out of 2,700 or so people on the ship, 900 are kind of in this high vibration, positive thinking type of philosophy. And so the people that I met, I will be friends with for life. I connected with so many people from around the world, and I think I shared the podcast with pretty much everyone. I didn't know the name of it at the time, but just Barbara's experience and how dead on you were, and I'm friends with everyone. We've got a big text thread, so I'll send information to all of them. They've all been doing high vibration energy work for the doggy. But Holland, Egypt.
Give them my number.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know what? Robin was the first friend of mine that listened to my whole entire chakra reading. The first and one. I don't know if anybody actually ever listened to the whole entire thing, but Robin did, and I have that much of a connection with her. That's how much she cares about me. So
that says a lot. That's awesome.
So glad.
Well, it says a lot about you too, Kelly, because you were so dead on. I would have lost interest within 20 minutes if I was like, but I know Barbara so well, and you were picking up on stuff that, I think she's been dealing with since childhood, some of it. And so it's just incredible. Yeah, you have a real gift.
Thank you. I love to connect with people. I love to help. And I mean, and it helps me too, and it's not why I do it, but it's like one of those residual things where I can feel like, I'm in a slump or something, because I just had a bad breakup, and then I'm kind of like, gosh, is anything going to go right? And then I do something like this, and then everything is in alignment, and it just starts going forward. And it's because I know I'm in the right direction.
An interview. I mean, every time I talk to her after a show, I always ask, so, Kelly, what do you think of this show? And she goes, this one's my favorite. But she says that after every show.
Aww.
Yeah, because they get better, and it's like more powerful.
I was just so touched. I mean, it's like when she said, did you want me to come back tomorrow? Did you want me to come back tomorrow?
I know. So
I was like, it's such a cute little thing. I had no idea she loved it that much. And, I don't always pick up on those things, but I'm glad I picked up on it. And I'm glad that she has the real, and she started telling me that when she would apply for a job, she put down that she does a podcast. And she said that she tells everybody about the podcast. Is that true, Kelly? You tell everybody about it?
Yeah, and I wore the shirt for like 3 days, and I'm like, ooh, I better wash it, or I
should wash it. Well, while your vibrations are super high, I want to tell you guys about this app that I've been using called Focus Wheel. And I think you could do it for your podcast too. And it's just just look up the app Focus Wheel, and then you can even look up videos on how to fill it out. But I did it for Side Pipes Health, and it's really interesting. So whenever I'm having that low moment, I can just look at the focus wheel, and it kind of snaps me back out of, no, this is what you said to keep your thoughts happy and positive, and to not get sucked into the negative, because it doesn't do any good. And so that's been something that I've been using as a tool this past week. But I could see I know people who have done it for getting new jobs. I've got one for my relationship, my family. I keep doing them for different things just to make sure that I'm constantly moving forward and not getting stuck and hung up on negative stuff. And so part of that focus wheel was having her chakras read, and so it was mine instead, or not read, but aligned, and it was me getting it done instead. But that was part of my focus wheel for my dog, and so it's everything that's happened so far is coming true, and so we'll see if the 14 years that I am rooting for her to live will also.
Wow. We definitely get that app for sure, because, you're so good at that, Robin, because everybody's going to have, we're going to go through really hard times, and we could get stuck there in our minds. But then to just say, okay, this is happening right now, but staying positive.
Have your eye on the goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always have helped me with that so much. And Kelly, you've done going through what you're going through right now and how you're helping people, that's only helping you. So getting the word out.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for, you guys, this is my very official first show. And thank you so much for asking me and taking me on, because just doing this with you is so therapeutic for me. It's just so
thank
great.
you. It is for
I'm
me
so
too.
Grateful.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And, I want to keep in touch with you, Robin. If you could, let us know how you're doing. Let us know how she's doing, and your family is doing. That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
I have immense gratitude for all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Well, we've been on past an hour. If you like, I can end the show, and I will. I think this is going to be good. Tomorrow we have a psychic on who read for Jerry Garcia, and
wow.
Robin. If you want to call in, if you have any questions for that, you can call in tomorrow if you like. I don't know if you will or not. Her name is Betty Lipton, and on Wednesday we have an animal communicator. And I think we're going to try to make it be the same time, unless otherwise. We want our callers to find us. So that's going to be. But I'm just like, are you going to call in tomorrow for the Betty Lipton show?
I have a family meeting I'm doing at one of my students' houses, so I think the time would conflict. Yeah.
Well,
but I have a girlfriend who would totally be into it. I could pass the phone number along to my girlfriend.
That does not mean Barbara. Yeah, that's true, and that doesn't mean Barbara can't ask questions for you, right, Barbara?
Right.
She also has a girlfriend too. Her girlfriend, who's in tuned to this whole situation, could call in, and then that would be good. Sure.
Well, my girlfriend might want to ask her about her future hunky husband or something, so she might want to do some different things. But if you want me to...
By the way, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek into a future show. On the 28th, which is my birthday, the 28th of May, not the 28th of April, the 28th of May.
Okay.
We are going to be having a psychic on named Jill Dane. Now, she'll be on with her mother. Let me tell you something about this lady. She has predicted over 1,000 weddings. So when I say 1,000 weddings, I mean she will tell you who you're supposed to marry, the name of the person, what this person's going to look like, what this person's birthday is going to be, basically enough where that you can find them out. And what happened was that, let me tell you a story about this lady. She did a reading for a girl that came to talk to her, and apparently what happened was at the time, this girl was dating a guy named Moti. Now, as you know, and I know, I've never heard of that name. Really, that's a very rare name. Well, what happened was that she told her, you're going to get married, but it's a different Moti. And guess what happened? She did.
Wow.
She's going to
be crazy. Oh my God.
On my birthday.
The same name,
and this is her tagline is she sees wed people. So all of your girlfriends that want to know who their millionaire woman is going to be, tell her to tune in for good old Jill. Okay, she's a good friend of mine. She's been on the show. She even made a prediction on who I was going to marry many years ago. It's really weird because it's due to happen within the next year, so it's going to be interesting.
Wow. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. On my birthday.
Well, thanks, guys. On my birthday, we'll have to celebrate with you.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to do something special for my birthday because, it's everybody that has been helping me out on the show has been so nice. It wouldn't be a show. Without Kelly and Barbara, it wouldn't be a show. It would be a joke. It's just, you can't do these things alone. And also it's really neat to run into people that really enjoy it this much. It's not like it's a chore. There are some people that if you tell them they want to interview you, it takes everything out of them. But people like Kelly and Barbara, doing shows actually seems to give them energy. It wakes them up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if I want to cheer Kelly up, usually, unless Kelly has a fever or something, but that's an entirely different situation. Then I just want to go feed her soup. But the whole point is that if she's down, then I want to feed her soup and rub her feet, and but when she's down, I tell her we have a show tonight, and that cheers her up. Right.
It does.
That's amazing.
She wasn't feeling well. She's going through a major heartbreak, and she did my chakra healing, and it made her feel better. And you were in my heart. And Robin, didn't it make you feel good? It was your first chakra, I think, that she said she has never felt one that good. What was that one, Kelly?
I've never had. The root chakra.
Root.
Yeah,
the root
chakra. Didn't that make you
chakra.
feel good that your root was the best that she's ever felt?
totally.
Yeah, it was amazing. 'Cause usually everybody has something, happening in there. So, yeah, that was
I've got
like,
some root
wow.
confidence right now. A little cocky about my root.
Yeah. Nikki was telling me
She's
about
totally
my heart.
grounded.
That was a great T-shirt.
Get a T-shirt. Ask me about my root chakra.
That's right.
Actually, the one that I loved was the one where we had the cougar lady on. Remember that? And you said, this is one that represents your fun spot. And I was telling her, and I was like, yeah, you can see the locusts come out from between their legs.
Your fun spot, yeah. Yeah, she's the cougar of comedy, so we're talking about like 20-something-year-old cabana boys and wow.
I like this conversation. That's funny.
It was interesting. It was funny. She's a riot.
And I was telling her about how I was working for customer service for Walmart, and apparently what happened was that this lady was for some reason calling me for customer service, asking for help with her with ordering tampons. And somehow couldn't figure out the fact that it's probably the wrong gender to answer these questions. I mean, she was asking me, are they safe? Are they tight? Are they big? I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
I know a lot, but that's not one of those things.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a doggie waiting in the kitchen for me right now looking at me, and she hasn't eaten all day. So, now I think you brought up her appetite also. So
Wow. Oh, good.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
Well, go.
Thank you for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh,